Hi, I'm Ashley from Sunny Maid, and today we are going to put together block 5 of our Beginner Skill Builder Sampler Quilt. Welcome back. We are on week 4 of month 5 of our Beginner Skill Builder Sampler Quilt. We are working on this block, and now that we have done all the pieces, it's time to put it together. So week 1, we should have made a square within a square or a diamond within a square, however you would like to describe it. Week 2, we learned how to make 3-color quarter square triangles. Now you should have done 2 sets of them so that you ended up with, let me make sure I have these going right. You're going to have 4 that go this direction and 4 that are going to go this direction. See how they mirror so nicely? And then what else you'll need is the corner pieces, 3.5 inches for the background. Okay, let's go over sizing again. This is 6.5 inches square for the center. The quarter square triangles are all 3.5 inches, and our corner pieces are 3.5 inches square as well. Other than that, we need a sewing machine. Get your iron hot and gather your pieces. It's time to get started. Okay, here's all our pieces. This is going to be our center. So our first thing we need to decide is which color you want placed next to the center. Are you going to go with, like I have, yellow or orange? Either way works great. I'm going with yellow. That's how I have it set up. So what I'm going to do first is take each of my sets. I'm going to lay them out here. And this is the direction I want them to go. I'm going to go to the sewing machine and sew these together. So I'll make 4 sets that look exactly the same. Okay, I have them all sewn. It doesn't really matter which direction you iron them. If you want to iron them open, that's fine. I'm just going to go one way. Whoops. Make sure they all go the same way. Okay, I have my 4 points put together. And now let's put together our block. We're going to place each set, 1 set on each side. And then we're going to take our background fabric, our corners, and put 1 in each corner. We're going to sew this in rows, just like we've done with every other block. I want to try to make this consistent. So the corner onto this, sew this to this, and this to this. These 2 are super easy, but I want to walk you through how to do this one. What we want to do is line up the point of our V here with the point of the V down here. So first thing we're going to do, I'm actually going to flip this over because I can see my V's better here on the back. I'm going to take my pin and put it right there in the point of that V. You know what? Let me get you closer. All right. Yep, there we go. Okay, I'm going to put that right in the point of that V. Oops. Trying to get it at a good angle so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to pull this back, find the V and the seam on this one. Both of them go together. put my pin right there, slide it down, and put the pin in. That just lined up both of those points. Now what I'm going to do is do a 1/4 inch and then a 1/4 inch on each of these two. Okay, there's not a good way to iron this middle one, so I'm just going to decide which direction to iron these because of our corner pieces. I'm just going to iron our top and bottom row towards the corner. There's no seams in it. It makes it nice and easy to lay back. Okay, and because I want my seams to nest, since I did it towards the corner here, I'm going to do it towards the purple on this one. So I'm going to do the 1/4 square triangle on top, not the 1/4 square triangle. The square within a square on top, give it a little shot with your iron, fold it back, and put that iron on that seam. You are going to get a bunch right here. I mean, we have points from the 1/4 square triangle. We have 2 seams from our, there I go again. We have the point from the square within a square, the points from the 1/4 square triangle, and that center seam all coming together right here in the middle. And look at that. We lined those up nicely. Okay, next ones, we're going to just take the background corner pieces and sew them onto each of the top and bottom ones. We're going to, once again, line these points up. I'm going to put a pin in that point, a pin in this point, slide them together, and line up those edges. Okay, once again, 1/4 inch seam on all of those pieces. Okay, we're going to iron these all the same direction again. Finger press it. Don't burn your fingers. Okay, and then we're going to lay out our last bit. We have our centerpiece and our 2 strips. We are going to line this up in 3 different spots. See, this way is really hard to line up those points. So I'm going to flip this over again. I just like coming from this direction. I can see right where the points are. Point, point, and seam. This is always going to be the first one I want to line up. This is my most important one. Then I'm going to line up these seams. Because of the way we iron them, one seam's going to go one way and one's going to go the other way. So I'm going to stick my pin right in there. And again, lining up these seams. Stick my pin in. So 1/4 inch on there. And then I'm going to add this side, line up the points, and sew again. This is normally how I sew my block together. I'll sew on both sides at one time. It just makes it easier from going between the sewing machine and the iron. And I'll line up one side, sew it, line up the other side, sew it, and then I can just iron it all at one time. I'm going to just iron it this direction. Actually, I'm going to fold it back this way. Open it up. Finger press it. Okay, then I'm once again going to set this seam with my iron before I fold it open. Make sure the rest of mine are all going the right direction. Finger press it open. And there you have your block. Now what's cool about this, let me show you a few things. As if we did it right, some of these look better than others. Our lines should be fairly consistent on these diagonals. This one, they got a little messed up. If you want to, you are more than happy to come back, take this apart, and fix this so it lines up more pretty. I like it the way it is, or I'm just probably more too lazy to go back and fix it, is probably really the truth. We have nice points. Okay, these lines, look how that, when you get everything lined up pretty, you have lots of beautiful lines in this block. Now the last thing we're going to do is square it up. Just like all the other blocks, finished, unfinished size is 12.5 by 12.5. So we are going to trim it to that 12.5 by 12.5 size. This square I got especially for finished quilt blocks. There's a lot of patterns that call for a 12.5 by 12.5. So I just bought this one because it makes it so easy to square things up. We are going to, you can line up these seams. These seams should be on the 6 1/4. Okay, it should go this way and this way. Some of them aren't quite perfect. No big deal. The center block should be at 3 1/4 and 6 1/4. So those lines, in general, it should run right down there. The 3 1/4 all the way down that way. So there's lots of seams we can line this up on. You can line it up on the 3 1/4 here and the 3 1/4 here. Make the point go right there in the middle if that's how you want to do it. That I just kind of eyeball it, make sure most of the seams are lining up, and then of course I jiggle it so then it moves. And as a whole, I just want to make sure that it's square. There's not much you're going to be trimming off. It should be almost perfect. Ooh, my thing moved on me. Okay, now that I've done two sides, I can line up this side and this side. We're going to do that and run that there. Even if it doesn't look like you need to trim anything, look at all those strings that just came off because I did run my rotary cutter down that side. So now you have your finished block. Look how pretty that is. And there you have it. Our 5th block is all put together. We are done with month 5. Next month, we're going to start something new, a new quilt block, some new techniques. Excited to move on and show you those. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. I'll come back and answer them. And don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can get next month's block in your inbox. All right, see you then.